ago, two athletes were revelations in their World's Strongest Man debuts. At 6'9" and 419 pounds, Hafthor Bjornsson of Iceland is an amazing raw talent whose power is rapidly increasing. American Mike Jenkins has unbelievable foot speed and agility for a man weighing 400 pounds. Both men have the talent to leave Los Angeles with a title, and today they begin their quest as the Metrics World's Strongest Man continues. Welcome to the 35th edition of the Ultimate Test of Strength. This is the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Our host location is the Commerce Hotel in Los Angeles, California. The first of 6 unique tests of strengths for group number 2. Phil will get things started with the loading race, an event that requires so much more than just raw power.
1, 2, 3, 4 275-pound anvils. Can any of our athletes load all 4 of them? And how fast can they do it?
Akos Nagy is making his World's Strongest Man debut at the age of 34. The Hungarian is a former junior world champion weightlifter. Eddie Hall of England checks in at 6'2", 333 pounds, and it's safe to say he possesses a fair bit of intensity. And the third rookie in the heat is Sebastian Kurek of Poland at 6'1", 287 pounds. He's one of the smallest athletes in the entire 30-man field.
It is awesome to see 3 brand new competitors here, and this is a great way to break them in. Nagy struggling right off the bat just to find a handhold. There's no time when the clock's running to be fooling around. You just got to grip that thing, rip it off the ground, and go.
275 pounds in hand.
Kurek is really showing efficiency. He's running back to every item. He's already on the 4th anvil.
And remember, Kurek just weighs in at 287 pounds. These anvils, 275. He's on the 4th and final anvil.
And you can see he's hitting the wall, but he's so efficient and so determined, there's no way he's going to lose this heat.
And he stops the clock at 42.55 seconds, so that becomes the mark to beat. Eddie Hall of England also stopping the clock with a respectable time of 49.82, and now it's down to the rookie, Akos Nagy.
Akos, you've really got to respect him. He knows he can't win the heat, but he's here to do his best. First time ever for all 3 of these men at World's Strongest Man.
And the Hungarian just tumbles to the ground with 275 pounds, not credited with that 4th one. But your winner of heat number 1, Sebastian Kurek of Poland, 42.55 seconds.
Kurek was masterful. He was so quick, so efficient. He gave 100%, and it shows in his result.
But the 4th and final anvil was a little bit too much for the Hungarian, Akos Nagy. There's Mike Jenkins, the former football player from James Madison University at 6'6", 400 pounds, now makes his home in Pennsylvania. Next to him, an even bigger man, Iceland's Hafthor Bjornsson, 6'9", 419 pounds. Hard to believe he's just 23. And at 43, Nick Best is the oldest athlete here. Former finalist at 6'3", 320 pounds. He resides in Las Vegas.
Another super exciting grouping. How can you not be interested with a guy like Hafthor Bjornsson? This is what strongman is all about. And we've got Mike Jenkins here to push him. This is a great matchup. Nick Best, also very capable, but he's quickly falling behind Hafthor and Jenkins here. Man, the way Thor rips those anvils off the ground, he makes them look like playthings. He just pops them up and goes. Wow, did you see that, Todd?
42.55 seconds is the mark to beat, and these men are in an absolute foot race to the 4th and final anvil, which weighs 275.
It is awesome to watch Hafthor, 23 years young, making it look like a walk in the park. He's having fun.
And he gets the win. Hafthor Bjornsson stops the clock in 38.29 seconds, just ahead of Mike Jenkins. Bjornsson wins the loading race. Mike Jenkins finishes second. Sebastian Kurek only outweighs the Anvils by 12 pounds, was an impressive third. Then it was Best, Hall, and Nodge. The Commerce Hotel is located in Los Angeles, California, and it's host to this year's edition of the Metric's World's Strongest Man. The next event for Group 2 is a classic, the truck pole.
17,500 pounds of truck. Our athletes will struggle to get it started, and then they'll try to sprint it all the way uphill to the finish line. Who can finish the course?
Akos Nodge.
This is Hungarian Akos Nodge. Two men have already had their chance, and the current leader is Sebastian Kurek of Poland, with a good time of 37.93 seconds.
Ready?
Remember, that's 17,500 pounds that he's strapped to. He's got a 30-meter course ahead of him.
And it looks like a rather slow start. He didn't seem to generate a heck of a lot of power off the line there. He's got his feet moving pretty good. His hips are okay. They could be a little lower. He's doing all right, Todd, but if you're going to get one of the top times, you better have more power in the start so you can really accelerate this toward the finish line.
Serious breathing there as he ditches the rope. The mark to beat, 37.93, and he's done it. 36.31 for Hungary's Akos Nodge.
Really surprising result. Naj's start was good enough to generate enough power to really get that truck moving, and even though his hips weren't low throughout the event, he managed enough speed to beat Kurek.
So here we go. Nick Best at 43 years of age out of Las Vegas, Nevada, in fourth place after one event. Now, he has the experience. The question is, does Nick have the raw power to get this 17,500-pound truck moving?
Well, you've got to think Nick has definitely trained this kind of event, but you just never know what's going to happen on the day of the contest. His form looks pretty good, but he could have gotten a little more out of the start, Todd.
The mark to beat, 36.31, as Best disposes of his eyewear, and now he's got it moving.
You know, he's doing a good job, Todd, but I think his hips could be a little lower. See how high he is there? The lower an athlete gets in the hips, the more power he's going to be able to generate and put to his feet and ultimately transmit to the truck.
And Nick's done enough to overtake the lead, 34.78 seconds. So that becomes the mark to beat. Yeah! Nick Best, the veteran strongman from Las Vegas, used his experience to good effect. He takes the lead in the truck pole. That'll take us to the next competitor. Currently in second place after one event, Mike Jenkins, now residing in Pennsylvania, strapped and ready to go to that 17,500-pound truck. It is a 30-meter course, and remember, the mark to beat, put up by American Nick Best, 34.78 seconds. Mike Jenkins also on the heart rate monitor, and there you see it rapidly surpassing 180.
He's got his hips nice and low, Todd. He's really digging. He got a quick start. Looks to really be in the groove. Yeah, that's in the mid-180s. That's definitely a high output. Some of the highest numbers you'll see from our athletes. Mike going so fast now, he doesn't even need the guide rope.
Oh, this is going to be a fast time. He stops the clock at 31.56. So the American Mike Jenkins is the new leader.
He had a great run. He kept his hips low. He stayed in the groove. He did exactly what it takes to manage his energy. That, combined with a great start, yielded a great time for Jenkins.
I think the rest of the field should be very worried if indeed Hafthor Bjornsson keeps improving. We've already seen his mobility in winning the loading race. Now it's time to display some serious power. Magnus for Magnusson looking on. The four-time champion watching this young man, seeing what he can do. 17,500 pounds for Hafthor Bjornsson.
Oh, that's a great start. You know, Hafthor's technique last year was just so ugly. It looks a little better this year. But you can see he still kind of wavers a little bit left and right on the course. He has improved, though, night and day from last year. His heart rate way up there at 190, and he just sprints down this course.
26.93 with his coach and mentor, Magnus for Magnuson, looking on. An impressive performance for the Icelandic giant. Pretty safe to say that Hafthor Bjornsson owns the truck pole. His exceptional time of 26.93 gave him his second victory in 2 events. Mike Jenkins posted a quality time, but it was only good enough for second. Bjornsson has the maximum of 12 points after 2 events to lead the way in the overall standings. A pair of second-place finishes gives Jenkins 10 points. Best is third with 7. Minutes away from Disneyland, Rodeo Drive, and miles of California's iconic beaches, Commerce Hotel is the place to be in the middle of all the excitement Los Angeles has to offer. And it's the host venue for the 35th edition of the ultimate test in strength athletics, the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Not far from the Commerce Hotel and Casino in Long Beach is the legendary ocean liner, the Queen Mary, the backdrop for the 3rd event in Group 2's qualifying round, the Viking Press. Nick Best of the USA had all sorts of problems with a 340-pound press. He failed to record a lift. Sebastian Kurek of Poland was credited with 3 reps. Hungary's Akos Nagy was able to produce 4 reps of the all-terrain vehicle. American Mike Jenkins pounded out 6 reps. Hafthor Bjornsson of Iceland had another solid performance with 7 reps. It was Eddie Hall who took top honors in the Viking Press. The Englishman had 9 good lifts. Eddie Hall picked up the victory in the Viking Press with 9 repetitions. Hafthor Bjornsson claimed second with 7 reps. Mike Jenkins was third with 6. Nick Best's hopes of reaching the final took a major hit when he failed to record a single rep. Iceland's Bjornsson remains the overall leader with 17 out of a possible 18 points. The American Jenkins stays in second, 3 points back. Englishman Hall climbs all the way up to the 3rd spot. Through 3 events, Group 2's qualifying round has been dominated by a 23-year-old Icelandic giant, Hafthor Bjornsson. He has demonstrated his speed, explosiveness, and his power. Do any of the other 5 athletes in Group 5 have an answer for Bjornsson? Find out next. We'll be right back with more of the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Welcome back to the 35th edition of the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Our host location is the Commerce Hotel in Los Angeles, California. Not far from the Commerce Hotel is the retired ocean liner, the Queen Mary. The 4th of 6 events for this group was the Super Yoke. Eddie Hall of England really struggling. He may have an injury. Sebastian Kurek, it wasn't pretty, but the Polish athlete was able to complete the 25-meter course in 33.59 seconds. Hungarian Akos Nagy was rock steady in his attempt, 28.84 seconds. Hafthor Bjornsson's style isn't the best, got it at 23.19. And a great performance by Nick Best, 18.40 secures him second place. Here comes Mike Jenkins, and Jenkins is gonna win the event with a time of 16.97. So with a time of 16.97 seconds, Mike Jenkins finally grabs an event win after 2 seconds and a third. Nick Best had a much-needed positive result, and he finished in second place. Bjornsson was third, while Nagy was 4th. Bjornsson sits atop the overall leaderboard with 21 points. Jenkins is now 1 point back in second. The top 2 have begun to pull away from the rest of the group. So we move on to our next event, the squat lift. And Phil, this is one of those classic measures of strength.
Well, almost anyone can go to the gym and work on their strength and power with a squat, but it takes the world's strongest men to squat with this freakishly huge 700-pound barbell.
Sebastian Kurek of Poland has already had his opportunity to grapple with the 700-pound barbell. He was unable to record a lift. Current leader is Akos Nagy of Hungary, credited with 4 repetitions. Next man up will be Eddie Hall, the Englishman. He is currently tied for 4th place in the overall standings, but he is a rookie. And Phil, this has got to be an ominous task to step up to this apparatus.
Yeah, you know, Hall did really well on the Viking Press, displayed incredible power. You think that kind of gym strength is going to translate well here, but he is a rookie. He's 24 years young, so you just never know. This is such a big, clumsy apparatus. It's all one piece. The bar is really thick, not like a gym squat bar.
There you see the heart rate monitor working for Eddie Hall from England.
Squats!
Todd, it looks like he's doing really well establishing a groove here.
Squats!
Can he stay in the groove, and can he maintain the strength and endurance to crank out the reps?
Well, he's at 7 right now, and that's 700 pounds. Make it 8.
Squats! Help him, boys. Okay, you're clear.
So Hall gets 9 complete with 700 pounds on his back.
Good result. Good result.
Wait! Easy!
Well, I'm not sure how light 700 pounds is, but that is a very impressive result. This barbell is super clumsy, very, very difficult to control. One-piece apparatus.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Iceland, please.
So he is the current overall leader. Next up in the squat lift, the mark to beat is 9 repetitions done just moments ago by England's Eddie Hall.
Hall really set a high water mark here. I'm going to be very impressed if Hafthor comes close to matching that.
Squats!
700 pounds on his back. Now, Phil, at 6'9", he's got to dip way down to make it a legit rep.
And look at him trying to settle in there. His feet are moving. He's really trying to feel this thing out. It's so incredibly awkward. It's a one-piece apparatus. It's not like a squat bar at the gym where the bar spins freely of the weights. You can see the weights rotating the bar, moving the apparatus around on his back. It makes it nearly impossible to find the groove and control the weight.
And that's it for Bjornsson. 4 is enough for the Icelandic giant.
Incredible display of power and control. Never able to find the groove, but still cranked out 4 reps.
The big Icelandic strongman got under the bar and seemed comfortable from the start, but he settled for 4 reps. Our next competitor is Mike Jenkins of the USA. And Phil, for whatever reason, even though Mike is in 2nd place in this group, we just haven't seen the kind of performance that many people are expecting from him. Do you think he's saving something for the final, assuming he gets there, or is it just slightly off his game?
I can't read anything into it, Todd. You know, I agree with you. I totally agree. We're not seeing the intensity, the confidence, and the relaxed nature that we saw last year from Jenkins. He just seems like something's bothering him.
Mark to beat is 9 repetitions set up by Eddie Hall of England. Jenkins now on the clock. Remember, that's 700 pounds on his back.
Squats!
He looks rock solid and strong here, Todd.
Squats! Okay, he's racking.
That's it. Mike Jenkins says enough is enough, so he does 5, which is 1 better than Hafthor Bjornsson.
This could all be about conserving his energy, as you suggested, just being calm. Not only just conserving his strength and power, but also just being relaxed and keeping the load on the nervous system to a minimum, saving everything for the final.
And that will take us to our final competitor in the squat lift. Nick Best of the USA comes into this event in 3rd place in the overall standings. Now, Phil, if he wants any chance of reaching the final, Nick really needs to win the squat lift. As you get a look at our leader, Eddie Hall of England, his 9 reps is the target for Nick Best.
Nick definitely has the power, definitely has the experience in the gym. 43 years young.
Squats! Squats! Squats.
Got to make that apparatus touch to the judge's satisfaction on every rep, for each rep to count.
So here he is at 4, make it 5, even with Jenkins.
Squats.
Now he's in second.
Squats.
Whoa, unbelievable recovery there.
No,
And
red.
he gets a,
One
oh
touch.
no, they don't count it.
Judges say no, he's got to make it touch at the bottom. That's good for 8.
And he comes up just short, but what a performance by Nick Best of Las Vegas.
Man, just when he needed those points, he delivered. Not quite good enough to catch Eddie Hall, but an awesome result.
The win goes to Eddie Hall thanks to the 9 reps with a 700-pound barbell. Nick Best captured second. Mike Jenkins was third. Bjornsson and Nod shared fourth. Well, it's now official. Both Mike Jenkins and Hafthor Bjornsson have qualified for the World's Strongest Man final. With one event left for Group 2, the only fight left is for bragging rights. The Commerce Hotel and Casino in Los Angeles has welcomed the Metric's World's Strongest Man to Southern California as the official host of this, the 35th edition of the competition. And just a few miles away is Venice Beach, the site for the final event of the qualification round for group number 2, it's the Atlas Stones.
Being nearly impossible to grip, the first stone is 275 pounds. That's like the weight of an NFL defensive end. And the final stone, 405 pounds? I don't think anyone in the NFL weighs that much.
2 men have seen their time in LA come to a close. Hungary's Akos Nagy ran into all sorts of difficulty with the opening stone, losing valuable time and costing precious energy. His result was 2 stones in 35.64 seconds. Sebastian Kurek of Poland had considerably more success. He managed to place 4 of the stones on the wall in a time of 32.52 seconds. He is the current leader with 4 more athletes still to come. So on to heat number 2. Nick Best knew coming in that being grouped with Mike Jenkins and Hafthor Bjornsson was going to make it very difficult to get into the final, but you can be sure he wants to finish up by putting on a great show. Eddie Hall from Stoke-on-Trent, England, has provided some big moments to this point. He's won 2 of the 5 events so far. So here we go. It'll be Nick Best on the right and Eddie Hall on the left.
Both of these guys have been awesome in all the qualifying events. Put on a great contest, great show of strength. It's going to be really interesting to see who can best the other man.
And Nick having issues with that second stone. Remember, that weighs 310 pounds. Bill, you've had a lot of success with these stones. What's the key?
Lots and lots of training and practice, and you cannot respect these stones. You have to go up there with total 100% aggression. You see Eddie Hall having a lot of things going through his mind. He's hesitating. You have to attack these stones. You have to run. After you load one, run back to the next one and just attack it and try to fly through them. The quicker you do them, the less time you're having to work, the more power you have.
25 seconds.
This last stone weighs 405 pounds. And as you pointed out, there is just no easy way to get these things up.
15 to go.
Both men giving it everything they've got, but they're going to run out of time here as the clock is winding down to the final seconds, and Eddie Hall's so close.
Oh, man, that's heartbreaking. You know, at least he got it up there. Nick would have liked to have done the same. Both guys gave everything this year. Great showing for the newcomer from England, Eddie Hall.
Both men credited with 4 stones placed.
Hall and Best battled it out to the end. Hall ultimately placing the 5th 405-pound stone, but not before time runs out. Bittersweet conclusion for the Englishman.
Please welcome from Iceland.
So here we go. Both of the men in heat number 3 already know they're moving on to the final after leading most of the way. Hafthor Bjornsson of Iceland is currently in 2nd place overall. And next to him is Pennsylvania's Mike Jenkins in 1st place and will stay there if he can hold off the Icelandic giant in the Atlas Stones.
And what a different approach each of these men have had throughout all the qualifying events. Hafthor has just been on fire, attacking everything with no mercy and no fear. Jenkins, on the other hand, playing it kind of conservative, not the kind of frame of mind you want to do the Atlas Stone.
Well, Bjornsson really showing off that 6'9" frame and making these stones look like pebbles. Meanwhile, Mike Jenkins really struggling. This is not something that he's going to be able to get away from when he gets to the final. And Bjornsson with the final stone stops the clock with an impressive time of 27.60. So he's got all kinds of momentum going into the final. Meanwhile, Mike Jenkins really struggling. That's the third stone, and he said enough is enough. So Mike Jenkins not in his normal form, but it's Hafthor Bjornsson winning the Atlas Stones, 5 stones at a time of 27.80 seconds.
My hamstrings. Yeah, I'm fine. It's a stretch.
Hafthor Bjornsson wins the Atlas Stones. He's the only man to put all 5 up. His time, 27.80 seconds. Good showing also by Sebastian Kjurk to take second. Bjornsson wins the group. Jenkins was second. They'll both be moving on to the final, but there's got to be questions about Jenkins, who appeared to be hobbled in the Atlas Stones. The Metrics World's Strongest Man qualifying round continues to narrow down the field to the 10 very best strength athletes on the planet. Mike Jenkins and Hafthor Bjornsson are the latest to advance to the final. This has been the Metrics World's Strongest Man. For Phil Pfister, I'm Todd Harris saying so long from California